Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Press the Action Button podcast here on digital-delirium.com. This is episode 99. We are almost at 100, and I am really looking forward to the 100th episode. Eric, I would love for you to join us for that.
Yeah, I'll try.
It's going to be a full house, and probably also going to be awesome.
And probably not one topic is actually going to be touched.
No.
It's going to be an hour of stupidity, basically.
What are these topics of which you speak?
Okay, let me introduce everybody, and you already heard his voice, ladies and gentlemen, returning for the first time in quite some time. Haven't been on here since, E3? Is Eric.
It's been a while.
Oh, it's Eric. Okay.
How's it going?
Same old.
Also with us this week is Gameface. Say hello to everyone, Gameface.
Hello, everybody. I got nothing to say except... Sean!
Also with us this week is something with Spoon in his name. It changes every week.
Tycoon of Spoon.
So apparently Pinkie Pie's a carnivore.
Spoonicus Tycoonicus.
Because that makes sense for... they did have that one donkey that Eric Cartman was trying to train.
What?
What? That was a horse who's trying to get to eat like a person's dick.
Yeah, Scott Tenorman's dick, I think.
Yeah, but instead he made him eat his parents. I remember one episode, he threatened a doll. He's like, well, I'll make you eat your parents. And he's like, what? And they're like, no, seriously, he will.
Yeah, I think that was an episode where they were threatening Terrence and Phillip.
Oh, yeah.
God bless you, South Park. You make us not care too much about much of anything.
You want to pass out the beer?
No, but I will anyway.
You drinking anything, Eric?
I actually do have something to...
But
That's good.
While he's passing out the beer...
You have one, kinda. So,
do you want to...
Yes, Josh, I will give you a beer, Joystick.
No, I was going to ask Eric if he wants to tell people what he's drinking.
What are you drinking?
Oh, I have... hold on, what the fuck is it? I don't even know. It's a Yingling Oktoberfest.
Oh, wait, Yingling?
Yingling Oktoberfest.
Oh,
I forgot they even made an Oktoberfest. Cool.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Sam Adams' Oktoberfest is a little bit better, but Yingling is good, so...
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I keep forgetting, Josh, actually, Turnbull left the case for this microphone at my place. I need to bring it here.
There's a case for this microphone?
Yeah, a really nice one.
Hey, if we didn't know, it don't matter.
It's this big. It's really nice. It's made out of steel.
Oh, that's cool.
I found out this week that there have been turntables in which the base of the turntable is made of obsidian. I'm not joking.
Obsidian!
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It'd be even crazier to have an album actually made out of obsidian.
Whoa!
Instead of vinyl.
But it would have to be The Who.
The Who?
The Who.
Would you buy The Who on Obsidian? Eric, internet connection lost.
Crap. You know what? I'm going to close YouTube. One moment.
Oh, yeah, I left it open.
That's okay.
Okay.
We were watching Rooster Teeth earlier.
Yeah.
Their internet's so bad, it makes your mama joke.
It's so bad.
Our internet sucks.
Wait a minute.
Alright, can you hear me?
Yeah. We got your back.
We're having a little bit of connection.
Alright, cool.
We're working on it.
Cool.
Well, Alex, it wouldn't be that hard to do an Ethernet connection.
Yeah, but it's not. It's this thing. It's the 3G. It's the 4G coming in. See, right now, 0 bars.
Yeah, wow. So it keeps disconnecting.
Guys, I'm just going to throw this out there, but clear internet kind of sucks.
Honestly, you setting it down would probably be the best thing for it instead of blowing it up.
What's that?
Actually, you know what would help? If, Josh, you and me, let's turn off our 3G networks.
Are you still there, bro? I'm not connected to the wireless, so it shouldn't be slowing it down.
No, I mean your 3G. If you turn your 3G...
Yeah, I'm here.
That shouldn't help not interfere. Yeah, they have 3G
I can hear you pretty clearly.
So we're trying to deal with it.
Yeah, we have clear, and don't get clear, it sucks.
Oh, jeez, Time Warner, it's fucking horrible, too.
What? I was gonna say you don't... Oh, you're going to flight mode? Okay, that'll work, too.
Well, we got this, it's 4G internet, and it's like you get a modem that you just plug it into, plug in the AC adapter, and away you go. So it pulls out like a cellular signal, which is very simple in concept, except this thing only has one jack for an antenna, and the antenna is for Wi-Fi, not for the incoming internet signal.
I see what you mean.
And it's got 5 little LEDs on the front gauging signal strength, and our signal ever since we bought it has been in between 0 bars and 1 bar out of 5.
Why don't you contact Claire and complain about that fact?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I'm lazy.
Wait, who's paying for it?
Paul
though?
bought
I
it.
am.
I thought Paul was paying for it because he bought it.
No, he bought the modem. I've been paying for the service.
Oh. Well, anyway,
At
the rest of us are drinking.
Oh, real quick, before we continue on, if you call in frequently, they can tell you to do troubleshooting as long as you do what they say. If you keep calling in, that's proof that there's an issue going on, you're trying to fix it, then you can have them credit your account for loss of service. Because seriously, dude, my customers that I get complain about this, and I agree. If you're not getting the service you're paying for, you should be paying for it.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it's not loss of service because it works a lot. It just has really slow spells where it's like dial-up.
Right.
Basically, yeah, it's painful.
Is that what they're advertising, though? That it'll only work some of the time?
No.
Very slowly? Well, then you're not getting what you're paying for.
They do specifically say on the website that it's not as fast as like broadband.
But
Yeah.
anyway.
But it's unlimited. Like there's no network cap. I don't know.
Okay,
It's
then
pretty stupid.
The rest of us are drinking Genesee Cream Ale.
But beer.
Have you already cracked yours? or
Yeah, I
not?
already cracked mine.
1, 2, 3, go.
It was probably loud in your headphones or whatever.
That is not too bad.
That's good. That's good. Hey, we're getting 1 bar like steadily now. 1 bar, Schaefer. 1 bar.
References that Eric does not get.
But anyway, so
We were having a bonfire by the river this one time, and our friend Schaefer kept insisting on calling Tim's cell phone over and over again until he ran the battery down.
To 1 bar.
1 bar, and he's like, I charged this fully before I came out here. And he kept calling it, and Tim just starts ranting, 1 bar, Schaefer! 1 bar! And he kept nothing could stop him. It was funny at first, and then it got boring, and then it got so repetitive that it became funny again.
it got to the point where I was literally about to physically assault him.
Internet connection problems. Come on, man.
Oh, come on, man.
But at least it picks the callback right up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll-
that's cool.
Thank God for that. And I don't have to delete long sections of silence because the recorder's smart enough to know that it should stop recording when the call goes away. You guys want to get to the topics?
Sure.
Yep.
You ready, Eric?
Yep. Internet back up? There it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The first Mass Effect game is finally headed to the PlayStation 3. Oh, come on, man. Okay, the first Mass Effect game is finally headed to the PlayStation 3 because just a little while ago, EA announced the Mass Effect Trilogy Collection, which puts all 3 games into one collection.
It's a shame.
This is not working. This is really annoying.
Paul would be like, I never have a problem with it. Shut up, Paul.
Yeah, Paul says that he only ever has problems with it when we are doing something. Like, he automatically
That
assumes
doesn't-
that if it's being slow, it means because you or me are doing something
Hey,
on the internet.
hey, is one of you guys on the internet on your computer or something?
With the average, if you take all the people who have internet, the average speed with what it is, the 3 of you living here should have no bandwidth issues if you had the average speed of all internet fair goers. You know what's even sadder? Turnbull has a 100 meg connection.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like Ethernet.
Yeah.
Well, it's
So
through
he
coax.
actually has decent internet.
Yeah, it's through coax. Cable.
Well, I'd be tempted to, upgrade to CenturyLink
You
or
get up to 8
something.
megs with them.
I'd be tempted to do that if I wasn't thinking about moving within the next
True.
few months.
Well, I want us to find a place that has them so we can get cheap internet.
Yeah.
I want to get cheap internet that doesn't cut out all the
Well,
fucking
if it
time.
cuts out, I also know how to make sure it gets fixed.
Amen.
Anyway, Eric, did you hear me when I announced the topic?
I'm not sure I heard you when
Yeah,
you
Mass
announced the
Effect.
topic.
Yeah, Mass Effect is coming to the PlayStation 3 because
Ah, well, good for them.
the first one was never put on the PlayStation 3. It's coming to the PlayStation 3 because EA announced a trilogy. It's a release of all 3 games, and to my knowledge, so far they haven't announced what DLC will come with this, if any will come with this. I wouldn't put it past EA to not put any of the DLC on the disc and to make you pay for it all, even though you buy the entire trilogy.
By the way, speaking of EA, I still love Battlefield 3, but the way they're milking out all the DLC with it, like just the ridiculous amount that DLC is already out for it, plus all that they'll be making, is just ridiculous. Oh, I was about to say actually, cordless phones are notorious for interfering with Wi-Fi. So, yeah, just thought I'd let you know. It might not be the cause of this particular issue, but it is notorious.
Idea for a name for this episode. This internet sucks.
Yeah, basically.
There's already beer all over the card table.
I have no idea how much of this you can actually hear, Eric. I'm trying, but our internet connection is not cooperating. Like, we can't get it to be stable even 1 bar.
So, how much are you getting?
Like, it bounces back and forth between 1 bar and 0. Eric?
Yeah.
How much of this conversation are you getting? I mean, is it like patchy or?
Yeah, it's pretty patchy.
Okay.
Apache! Jump on it! Jump on it! Jump on it!
I'll do what I can when I'm going through and editing this, and hopefully it will be somewhat stable. I kind of doubt it, because it never has been.
That's okay, we're glad to have you chime in.
Any thoughts on Mass Effect 1 finally coming to the PlayStation 3, though?
No.
I'm glad, because I got to play like a good portion of the beginning of the first game, and I really liked it. But it was on a friend's Xbox. I didn't get to continue playing, and it was one of those games that was really plot-based, so I wasn't going to, skip to the second game.
Yeah, it's probably the best idea. I mean...
And Alex, no pony jokes.
What?
I said plot-based.
Oh!
Anyway.
In joke.
See, he wasn't even going to touch that till you brought it up.
I wasn't going to touch that, no.
I was afraid because I said it, and then I just thought, Alex... In my mind, as I continued talking, I was going, Alex, shut up. Alex, shut up. Alex, shut up.
That's all it... Okay.
Anyway.
Internet connection problem.
For the sake of recording, just ignore whenever that appears. You might want to screw that back on. But anyway, the light came back. Oh, now it's gone.
This is the antenna for the internet out. That's
still.
All that does is
connect with that.
All that does is boost.
Yep, like that.
Welcome back.
Ethernet. What are you talking about?
Ah, thanks.
I see it has Ethernet ports. That won't do a damn thing. It's just.
Easy. I was just saying, you don't know. You might be able. What is that other noise? Oh,
the dog. It's the dog. What?
She's barking at something.
Pipe or no piping?
Pipe or no piping? Watch it something stupid like by default, it's only set to 20% power.
I don't know. Maybe we should call clear. Anyway, getting back to Mass Effect, I'm actually glad that the first one's finally coming to the PlayStation 3. It's such a great game that I don't know. The PlayStation 3 got 2 and 3. It seems only fair that it should at least eventually get 1. I don't know how well this is going to sell because a lot of people bought 2 and 3 on the PlayStation 3. But they already own that, so will they get the entire collection for 1 game? You know what I mean?
Just the same, I can eventually see a Metal Gear box release for Xbox. So, because now,
Well, the Metal Gear Solid HD collection did come to the Xbox.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, but that included only 2, 3, and
Peace Walker.
Peace Walker. So the
It was
original,
subsistence, so it came with Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 as well.
Right. So the original Metal Gear Solid never went to Xbox then. Just
Yeah, we
like
got
the
2
original
bars.
Xbox never went to PS3.
That's rare.
You got 3 bars.
No, that wasn't 3. That was just the leftover.
2 bars.
maybe.
2 bars.
Now we only have 1.
Maybe it was Piper barking. Piper's an antenna.
Now we got 2.
Piper was barking at the internet, so it worked better.
Maybe that phone finally died because you unplugged it, the power.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are notorious for interfering with wireless.
Okay, after this podcast, we gotta make a pact, and we gotta try and find a freaking place in the house where we can plug this router in.
Have you tried in the attic?
I couldn't find an outlet in the attic.
Sure. You guys have an extension cord?
I do, but it's connected to my air conditioner, which I can disconnect now, because it should be cool enough to disconnect now. In October, a year after we got a massive snowstorm, I was getting eaten alive by mosquitoes today. Mosquitoes. Hey, it's October in Pennsylvania. Last year we had snow this time of year. What the hell?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. It's unusually
Global
warm
warming,
right now.
Global flobal wobbly bits is more like it. It's freaking bipolar weather.
Okay, so there's a new rumor about Half-Life 2, or
Oh,
Half-Life
nice.
3, right? And this new rumor was coming from a source close to Valve, but the article that I read and pulled this story from didn't say what the source was. I hate it when they do that, but that's beside the point. The rumor says that Valve was working on Half-Life 2 Episode 3, and it went through so many changes and everything that they're just going ahead and developing Half-Life 3. Which at this point I can believe. The rumor also further says that it's going to be very different from the previous Half-Life games with a strong...
Don't do me any good, Tim.
Well, your mother's Rumpelstiltskin grinder.
What?
You're all like, I need an empty can earlier.
Yeah,
So
an
here's
empty,
an
intact can.
Well, this is intact. It's
That's
different.
not. That can
but
is
it's
not intact. I was gonna
Yeah.
use it to prop up the modem.
Well, my eyes could be all dirt, but I'd still be intact, just like this can.
Oh, freaking out loud!
Who
I
cares?
can't prop.
Besides, you're not even. It's not even.
I'm
doing
holding
any
it with
good.
my bare hands,
Exactly.
and I can't let it go without.
So what's the point of the can anyway?
Wait,
Oh
I
my
can
God.
put an unopened can under it. Hopefully, beer doesn't interfere with 4G.
Well, we have
Lord
two
only knows
bars
it
now,
would. So anyway, the rumor says that it's going to be very different from Half-Life 2, and that it will be an open world with much more of an emphasis on exploration and puzzles than Half-Life 2 did. And Half-Life 2 did have some puzzles, but its was very combat focused.
Oh,
God damn it!
sorry. What?
Connected.
Oh.
That's weird because we get a bar.
Oh yeah, what was it earlier? We were talking about that puzzle game. He reminded me.
Rubik's
Dr.
Cube? Dr.
Yeah.
Layton.
Dr. Layton. There's apparently
Professor Layton.
Professor
Sorry. There's going to be Professor Layton versus Roy Phoenix video game.
Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix. Sorry. Did I say Roy Phoenix?
Professor Layton versus Chris Turnbaugh.
Oh my god! When I tell him
That
about
would be the
later,
greatest thing in the world.
he's gonna like probably poop his pants laughing. Oh my god.
Okay. So,
Anyway.
the focus is going to be more on puzzles and exploration than combat. And it's going to be open world, and it will feature a lot of NCPs that you run around and talk to, and they will give you quests. So basically, a lot like an RPG. I don't know if you would gain levels, but this sounds a lot like Borderlands to me.
Prediction. Since it sounds
Objection!
no. Since
Did you
it's
just say that because Phoenix Wright?
yeah. Anyway, so Portal is supposed to be in the same universe as Half-Life 2.
It is.
Okay. Prediction. They're saying it's going to be more puzzle-like. Prediction. It's going to involve the portal gun.
Oh my.
I think I'm going to punch that thing when this podcast is over.
Punch what thing?
That.
Oh.
I gave it.
We need a new modem!
I need a new Xbox! We gave it 3 beers already. I mean, I've had more than that, and I'm feeling fine. Well, how many have I hit? Wait, I had 2 before I rode my bike to Taco Bell, which was horrifying because
Yeah.
the sun decided to go down.
Yeah.
How's that
Genius
horse?
here decided to ride his bike to Taco Bell. It's like
It's about
40 minutes away.
What?
30 minutes.
Well, 30-minute bike ride, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a
Yeah.
bike ride. Because it would take a good 30 to 40 minutes to walk there.
Oh, at least, yeah.
So bike ride is a little bit faster than
About
that.
20
so
to 30 minutes, yeah. And,
you were gone
Just
long
saying.
enough that I punched the beer in Food Rage. Then we decided to eat beer.
Yeah, we ate beer.
it was
And
a
then we ate tacos.
I'm sure you can appreciate that, Eric.
careening,
Having beer for supper.
careening down a hill.
Up north.
Oh yeah, it was careening down a hill with no sidewalk and and barely any shoulder, in the dark
With tacos.
with tacos wrapped around my handlebars. I am dead freaking serious.
And I'm just imagining you now going,
It was. I'd do it again. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not sure how I feel about this rumor. Like, Borderlands is awesome, and this makes it sound like it would be another version of Borderlands set in the Half-Life universe. But I really would like more
do.
of the more traditional Half-Life way of doing things.
I would not say that Borderlands is more puzzle-based than action.
Well, no, I was talking about the stuff about the open world, the NCPs, and the exploration and all that stuff. Not the puzzles. Borderlands is still very action-based, but...
Alex is in the bathroom screaming as he's pissing. Oh, God. Anyway.
But at the same time, like, Half-Life 2 was one of my all-time favorite first-person shooters.
Well,
and I'd be afraid that if Valve tried to do something else with it, they would really screw it up, you know?
Well,
yeah, it makes sense, but like, how many fucking Half-Life 3 rumors does this make now? Like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Until I see something on their website or on IGN, I kind of just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. I mean, all we've gotten so far is like, yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, we're working on it. We're not going to show it to you, but we're working on it. And that's all they ever say.
sounds
Same time, though, I mean, that at least gives you hope that they're, yeah.
sounds kind of like the whole Kingdom Hearts 3 syndrome as well.
At least they're
No one-
producing
Yeah, right.
into the Kingdom Hearts universe
Like-
while you wait for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like those are important integrals to the plot, but they put it on a different system I don't own and I don't want to own, and then it's like, fuck
What
you,
system's
you're
that?
going to make me buy a Wii U or whatever the hell.
3DS and PSP.
Sorry,
and
3DS.
DS.
Exactly. It's like 3 different systems, and it's like, no, you're gonna make me buy these whole different systems to play this game. That's unfair to assume that, like, oh, you like video games? You must own all the systems. Fuck you. That's not the case.
Buy all the things!
So the PlayStation 3 is getting a re-release of Kingdom Hearts 1 with Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories in high definition that has all the cutscenes from
Good. It's
some
about
other Kingdom
time.
Hearts game. It doesn't include Kingdom Hearts 2, which is really, really, really weird. And it doesn't include the full game. I think it's Birth by Sleep that it's got all the cutscenes from, but not the actual game. So you can basically watch a Kingdom Hearts movie after you beat the other 2 Kingdom Hearts games, if you really want to.
But in any case, you get my point, though. It's just... But anyway, no, as far as Half-Life, as far as your opinion about that, one, like Eric said, it's just a rumor, man, and one that apparently has no source. That, combined with the fact that it's hard for me to say anything, because I really haven't played the Half-Life games.
I think our internet connection just went away.
Yeah, it's like... I think maybe he disconnected? Did he disconnect?
I'm back on it, just
Oh,
reconnected me.
wow. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Our internet connection just dropped completely.
Yeah.
I have 3 beer cans under the modem right
they,
now.
They lost their IP address.
And I swapped a full one for an empty one. And it was all global flobal wobbly bits.
And we still can't get a stable connection. It's still internet connection problem. There's a problem with the internet connection between you two. Hold on while we try to get the call back.
Oh, you guys lost your IP address again.
Oh, schmick.
Horses a man.
Dang!
How's it going?
I'm about ready to throw our internet connection out the window. Is that humanly possible?
Our internet?
Yes.
Well, you can win an internet, therefore you can jettison an internet.
Oh, by the way, Jason says, tell him, and he's talking to Josh, tell him to take the dicks out of his mouth and ass before he calls someone else gay. By the way, hi, Tim.
He's gay. He's really, really gay.
Okay, anyway.
I do suppose he's rather guy.
So, wait, what were we talking about? Because I'm not even joking, I was trying to think of what we were talking about,
Black people?
and Pinkie Pie popped into my brain. I'm not even joking.
You have a problem with not being able to continue the... Yeah.
This is giving me a world of trouble, man. I'm trying. Okay. BioWare founders Ray Muzaka and Craig Zeschuk have left the company entirely. They've also left the gaming industry entirely. Muzaka will be working on entrepreneurial and philanthropic pursuits, while Zeschuk will make beer.
Whoa!
Yeah, he's leaving the gaming industry to make beer.
That's always a good move.
Those are both really hipstery.
All I gotta say is the Jamaicans who tried the bobsled and failed at it, they retired to make alcoholic products, and they're doing successful with that. So, it's a good move.
And they went for a beer.
Watch, it turns out that they are a straight boater.
Oh my
like a
god,
movie,
dude, it keeps
movie.
disconnecting. It's really fucking annoying. So did you hear me at all?
Disconnect.
Eric,
Disconnected again.
I think
probably.
Yep.
We're so Russian right now.
Barely. I'm not really at all.
Oh, wait.
Random words.
It's saying you're disconnected, but we can hear him.
Well, I heard that. Okay.
Dude, this isn't working. This isn't working. This isn't working.
I'm trying.
Nothing
I
personal.
know. I'm just saying.
Let me
Admit
just,
defeat.
can I just say this?
No.
Nothing
What?
personal to Eric, but maybe it's just to finish this off. Maybe we should cut this fake call.
Well, I mean, let them know. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Eric? We might have to.
Okay. I tried to get Eric in on this. I'll get as much of that as I possibly can.
Really? What?
No. Go ahead.
Okay.
BioWare founders Ray Muzaka and Greg Zeschuk have left the company and the gaming industry entirely. Muzaka left to start working on entrepreneurial and philanthropic pursuits. Didn't specify beyond that. Zeschuk will be making beer, which is awesome. I want to drink his beer. Be like, this is beer was made by the guy that made Mass Effect. That's what this beer is.
You know why he's doing that? Because he can't afford to make another video game and risk it being stolen and then shut out to make money again. That's probably why.
I don't know. It was on the exact same day that they announced this. EA's like, hey, we're bringing them all together in a collection, the Mass Effect trilogy, so come get it. And I don't know if they have announced what DLC is going to be included in that trilogy or not. But I fear for the future of BioWare after this. They've said that BioWare is in good hands after this, but I don't know. I'm worried about it all the same. Because, I mean, these two guys have been the head of BioWare since BioWare began. So everything brilliant they've ever done, they were the head of the project. And then handing this off to someone else who may or may not be as brilliant. I mean, these two guys both have PhDs, you know? They're doctors.
Oh, my name is Dr. Blah Blah Blah. Oh, what are you a doctor in? Video games. Yeah, that's
Well, if you get a PhD, you're a doctor no matter what you do.
Yeah, I know, but still, just being like, yeah, I got my doctorate in video games.
Neil Peart got his doctorate in percussion.
Is that a true story?
Yes.
Okay.
It's actually true. He got his doctorate in percussion, which I didn't even know you could do. That
is one damn studious drummer.
Well, he is often considered the best drummer of all time. I don't know if that's true or not. Also from Canada, Rush. They just recently got nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, along with Deep Purple. About fucking time. I would be interested to see what kind of beer Zeschuk actually creates after this. Is he gonna start his own brand? Because I mean, he's probably got plenty of money to set up his own brewery if he really wants to. The head of BioWare, they've made a bunch of very, very well-selling games, especially the Mass Effect trilogy. Probably far and away their best-selling series of games, and he's got a lot of money to play with, so he could probably just hire a bunch of people if he wanted and start up his own little brewery. Wonder if it would just be specific to Canada.
Well, I don't think there's any reason in trying to speculate what kind of beer he'll make. But about the name, try to think of a good pun between Mass Effect and beer. I can't think of any.
Neither can I. You could call it Bio Beer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like right off the top of my head. It's kind of lame.
Yeast Effect.
Sounds like an infection.
It does. That's what I was thinking. That sounds horrible. I don't think people would want to drink that based on them be like just staring at the can, bewildered by the name.
I just thought of like chemically speaking. I don't know.
Well, I get what you're going for, but still.
Yeah, that was awful. Makes you think of like a prostitute.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Gross.
Anyway. Sorry. If only you could think of something better.
I don't know.
There's no beer that type of beer that starts with an E or sounds like effects that I can think of.
And they can't go with Knights of the Old Republic because that's like Star Wars. George Lucas probably is not going to let him create a Star Wars themed beer. As awesome as that would be.
It should just, you know what? It should be a beer with Seth Green's face on the front of it.
Yeah, that would work. Here, it's the Joker's beer. Here you go, Joker.
Wait, what?
I just lost my train of thought.
How did we get from Seth Green to the Joker?
In Mass Effect, Seth Green's character is named Joker. That's his nickname.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't mean that Joker. I meant the Mass Effect Joker.
My mind immediately went to Batman, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, my mind immediately goes to Batman when I hear Joker too. But you have to remember sometimes he's really not the only one.
Yeah.
He's just far and away the most well-known. Okay.
Anyway, I don't think we have anything else to say about beer. Other than yeast effect is the worst name for a beer ever.
Yeah. Beer 30 is a better name, and that's generic as shit, you know? Okay. Developer Artemica.
Wait. Name for the beer. Mass Effect 3. The real ending.
It just has a picture of fucking, Garrus and, Shepard just chilling on a beach with a couple of them. A couple of cold ones. Because at one point in Mass Effect 3, Garrus actually says that. It's what he wants to do, and it's funny.
Okay.
Developer Artemica may be working on a remake of the Super Famicom cult classic Clock Tower.
I don't know what that is.
Never heard of it.
It's titled Clock Tower Remothered, and unlike the original, will use 3D models. Obviously, the original didn't use 3D models because it's a Super Nintendo game.
Well, no offense, but Super Famicom, even the most popular of that, it's still going to be obscure, but...
Well, the Super Famicom is just the Japanese name for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, I thought it was a different system.
No.
Nope.
Famicom... Nintendo Famicom was Nintendo Family Computer. Was the original Nintendo in Japan, and then they had the U.S. version of it, the the Nintendo Entertainment System. Then when they did that, they called it the Super Famicom in Japan. So it just made sense for Super Nintendo Entertainment System in the United States.
Alex, want to make a Super Nintendo out of Obsidian?
Yes.
You want to make a Super Nintendo? How's that gonna work?
I don't know, but it should work.
Anyway. Clock Tower is one of the more interesting games on it because it's a survival horror game on a cartridge on the Super Nintendo. On the Super Nintendo.
Oh my God.
And that makes it extremely unique. It's not quite like this more recent survival horror games like Resident Evil and stuff like that. It's a point and click adventure game.
Which you don't see too much of anymore.
Apart from the Sam and Max series, pretty much.
Is Amnesia like that? Because everyone talks about that game, but I've never actually seen it.
It's a first-person horror game, but beyond that, I don't know. I've never played Amnesia. I've heard it's really fucking scary. But what it was is obviously point-and-click adventure game, so you were solving a lot of puzzles as you went throughout the story. But there was this one guy his name was Bobby, and they called him the Scissor Man. And he was like this hideously deformed, evil little guy that had this massive fucking pair of scissors, like hedge clippers or something, that he would chase after you with. And anytime he was on the screen, you had no way of fending him off or defending yourself. So you had to find creative ways to hide from him. And that was what it was all about.
So it sounds like Resident Evil 3, was it? Ripped this game off? Because what was it? Which one was it? 2 or 3 where the Nemesis was following you the entire game?
It was Nemesis.
And you
it was 3.
Yes. Okay, yeah. And you couldn't kill him. You can only just basically run and hide.
Yeah. It was kind of like that without all the zombies that you kill in between. And he was there was one enemy in that game, and it was him. And anytime he showed up on screen, it would start playing this creepy fucking music, and you would have to run away and try to hide from him. And supposedly, it was actually a pretty damn scary game, and it's one of the earliest examples of trying to blend video games and horror. And I mean, there are a few other examples, like Alone in the Dark from 1992 is often considered the very first survival horror game of all time. And then you have Alien vs. Predator on the Atari Jaguar, which opted not to have background music and instead to have just all kinds of ship noises. And the aliens were really silent when they came up to you, so you quite often could not hear them before they started attacking you. And it managed to have a creepy atmosphere by doing that kind of thing. And there were a few other examples of that, but it didn't really click until Resident Evil. This one kind of clicked in Japan. It had a kind of a cult following, and the series didn't come to the United States until the PlayStation 1, and there was one Clock Tower game on that, and then there was a Clock Tower 3 for the PlayStation 2. And the series has lied dormant since that. And I know there are fans of the series in the United States who are like, when's the next one going to be? When's it coming out? And they never got to play the first one unless they played it through emulator, you know?
Right.
And this would give them a chance to do that. I think it would be cool. I would play. I really want to play the original Clock Tower. Our internet just cut out again.
Hey.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know what the hell its problem is tonight. They have all kinds of serious problems with the internet. But
this is why you guys need to live with me, because I would not stand for this. Like, I would make sure the internet's working right. I would be on that until it does work right. Because that's this kind of, no offense, but the internet connection you guys have is just simply, unacceptable.
Shitty? Really shitty?
I'm not going to be like the assholes I get. It's like, it's slower dial-up. I'm like, no. Even if you were going at dial-up speed, you would not be able to do the stuff that you're telling me. You're like, YouTube videos stop after 15 seconds. If you had dial-up, it would be stopping every second.
Yeah.
It's just... But anyway.
There are times when it feels like it's usually nowhere near this bad.
No,
this is terrible.
If you had dial-up speeds, you just could not do anything, because how do I put it? The bottom level has been raised so high now that even dial-up can't handle simple websites.
Yeah, true.
I've gone to mostly text-based websites, but do have still some images. Just the format it's in requires so much more bandwidth that my phone takes a minute to load the entire page on the 3D network.
You know what's sad, though, is a good majority of the time, my phone is a lot faster.
That is sad. And honestly, no, I understand, my phone is faster than your guys' internet.
Yeah. And then you know exactly where I'm coming from. It's frustrating. I watch videos on YouTube on my cell phone over my computer because it's faster.
I just don't get how you guys, I know it's not your fault or anything like this, but it's just, it kind of, it's weird how you guys got rid of Verizon, because they were so sucky. It was obviously something, their lines just suck. You're like, we got new internet with Clear. I'm like, Clear? And then, yeah, it's through 3G, 4G.
Yeah, that was Paul's choice. Paul went and bought the damn thing.
Okay, and then it sucks just as bad.
If not worse.
Yeah, if not worse.
Anyway, let's get to the last topic.
What's that?
This podcast is a disaster anyway.
Yeah.
I tried. Okay. Reggie Fils-Aimé says he wants to see Nintendo GameCube games on the Virtual Console for the Wii U. But they are not announcing anything right now. And I can't imagine how this would work. I mean, the Wii U comes in two packages, a 32 gigabyte package and an 8 gigabyte package. With the 8 gigabyte package, probably 2 games for the GameCube will fill that shit up, you know? With the 32 gigabyte package,
here's how.
Get more than that.
They're going to offer it, but as far as storage space goes, you're going to be required to have your own external hard drive.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're
It's going to be that basically they're going to go, see this? It's our middle finger. Stick it up your ass and blow.
And, you know what they should have done? Is they should have just had fucking backwards compatibility. I mean, they're putting the Wii technology in this thing so they can have backwards compatibility with the Wii and all its games will work right and everything. And the part of the Wii technology was the Gamecube technology because all the Gamecube games worked on the Wii. So why can't you just transfer that over to this system and include it in this system? Probably because they probably would have had to bump up the price from $350 to a bit more than that. That's probably the only reason that it's not backwards compatible with the GameCube. That's probably the only reason they cut it out.
It makes sense because if it's too expensive, people aren't going to buy it.
Yeah, at the same time, it's a Nintendo product. People are going to buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but still, it's still largely... With the Wii was a different case. With the Wii U, you can't say it's going to be the same, mainly because the fact of the matter is, since the olden days, Nintendo has been primarily targeting young kids.
And they're trying to change. They've been trying to change that for a while. Like
they succeeded the Nintendo Wii with the Fit, but that was just about it. And the fact of the matter is, when it comes to the Wii U, unless they have something that's specifically going to get older audiences using and wanting it, its parents, older people, are only going to be buying it for their kids. You're not going to see people our age, you're not going to see people from 18 to 40 buying the Wii over PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 or whatever next gen they come out with, versus the Wii U. People who are going to be buying it are going to be buying it for their kids.
Nintendo has tried to do this.
You have to keep the price down for that reason.
Nintendo has tried to do this in each of the last few generations, where they try to capture the hardcore audience. And with the game, with the PlayStation or the Nintendo 64, it was with games like Conker's Bad Fur Day, and that was a good game. With the game, but they didn't keep at it. With the GameCube, it was with games like the Resident Evil remakes and Resident Evil 4 and Killer 7. And they were great games. But they didn't keep at it. They gave up. With the Wii, they did the exact same thing again with games like Mad World and No More Hero. And they're good games. But they didn't keep at it. They just kind of, like...
Killer 7 was available on other consoles, by the way.
Yeah, it was. So was Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is available on pretty much every console known to man by now. They keep
you mean there's more than 3?
They keep re-releasing the damn thing. I think they've released it. They released it on the GameCube. Then they released it on the PlayStation 2. Then they released it on PC. Then they released it on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox.
There's
Xbox
only
360, rather.
one reason I refuse to play Resident Evil 4.
It's a damn good game.
Well, I understand that, but and people argue that people are pissed that in the 5th one you still couldn't do this. But I honestly think they should have fixed this by the 4th one, and this should have been a complaint. But I think everything good about the game overshadowed this. You cannot walk and fire a gun. Why can that not be programmed in? Anyone who professionally fires a gun, yes, they will usually stop the fire first. However, they will still, in times of need, especially if you're trying to get away from a foe, they will move and fire. Now, you're not going to be as accurate. And you know what? As far as programming-wise, others have done that. Look at Dead Space, for example. If you're moving, you can move and fire. But if you
still manages to be scary.
But if you start moving and fire, your aim gets harder. You start shaking, and your aim starts moving around as you're walking.
Accurate.
Right, exactly. And Resident Evil fails to do this, and I think by the time they did 4, which was released on the PlayStation 2,
and
this
GameCube,
is something that they could have fixed by that point. But they didn't.
Well, in their defense, with Resident Evil 4...
which was a PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, etc. It was a current-gen game. There was no reason why you shouldn't be able to move and fire. Especially since every time you're not playing as some no-vice person, you're playing as usually a professional gunman or a cop.
Yeah, in Resident
Someone who
Evil
knows how to use a gun.
In Resident Evil 4, you're playing as one of the president's bodyguards.
Exactly. So why can't he move and fire a gun? And that would annoy me to no end in a video game. That's why I've never played that game.
In defense of Resident Evil 4, it fixed the controls. The 1 through 3 have the tank controls where it's like you push forward to walk, and then you hold down left, or you push left or right to slowly turn. And it was slow, and you were getting gnawed on by zombies while you were trying to turn around to shoot the damn things. And they fixed that. The controls are much faster and much more responsive than the tank controls of the previous games. And I can forgive it not having to move and shoot at the exact same time because they fixed the controls.
Okay,
But Resident Evil 5, I can't forgive it because it still feels like a last generation game because they didn't add that.
True. I'll give it that because it was improving. But what everyone I hear, and because people try to complain Dead Space stole Resident Evil 4's controls, but the thing is, Resident Evil...
Yeah.
The Resident Evil controls are slightly different. For one, the directional buttons are a hotkey between 4 different weapons, which, for a survival horror game, is really nice.
Yeah.
2, you can move and shoot. Those are just 2 of the main differences, and honestly...
And people complain about it being Resident Evil 4 in space, but they ignore the things that Dead Space did innovate, like the menu screen.
Right.
It's in real time.
In the life...
It's all in real time, and there's no HUD. They found a genius way to integrate all that shit and not have a HUD.
And most of all, just the controls themselves. I've heard a lot of people say that while it's very similar to 4, Resident Evil 4.
It is.
A lot of people have said this is the perfect survival horror controls I've ever played in any video game. And I agree with that.
All they added was the ability to move and shoot at the same time.
Yeah. I pretty much agree with that. It pretty much is. Like, you're in a sense, it feels real in the sense that you're not like some superhero jumping off walls and moving at supersonic speeds or whatever, but at the same time you're empowered. You have the ability to quickly change between weapons, aim, fire, move, etc.
But the vulnerability that in part makes it so intense and scary that you felt in Resident Evil games where I'm weaker than my enemies. That's still present.
Right. Well, in Dead Space, hell, you can go from quite literally, like, taking 100 hits to, like, the second, like, you could quite literally, go to a new area and die after 1 or 2 hits. Like, a certain hit, you could have almost full health, and a hit will quite literally, like, just depending on the angle it comes from or whatever, will slice you in half and kill you immediately, and you're like, what the hell? But then you can start again, and depending on what happens, you could take 100 hits, well, not that much, but you know what I mean, and survive through it.
I've heard
it just depends on how you actually get attacked. If a Deadeye, not Deadeye, what were they called in Dead Space? I forget. But Necromorphs. If they came up with you and they had one of those like blade hands, they came up to you and did like a sweeping slash that went through your midsection, you were dead, like in real life. However, if they were just spitting stuff at you, it took some health, but you weren't dead. So...
Yeah. I've heard a lot of Resident Evil and, like, old-school survival horror fans defend the bad controls by saying that it makes it scarier.
Where are we at?
26 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up real soon.
Okay.
But they said that it makes it scarier, right? Yeah. And I think that's bullshit. I don't think the tank controls make it scary. I think they just make it harder to play and frustrating because it's harder to play.
I think it was just an old video game and they didn't know where they were going with the controls yet. I farted. Anyway.
I think it's kind of sad that it took them 4 attempts to get that right, but that's beside the point.
You also got to consider with what they had to work with before. I mean, consider, obviously, there is a big improvement between Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, but you could have also argued that some stuff they had in 4, well, why didn't they have it in 2, you know? It's the same thing. It's just what they had to work with.
Yeah.
And it's like that you make a massive improvement, you add all these things, and it works. And also you've got to consider the environment which you're programming with. It gets to the point, obviously, with development time as well, that it's like, well, this is what we have to work with, this is what we got to go with.
Yeah, a horror game can be scary with or without those controls. Like Call of Cthulhu: Dark Corners of the Earth. It's one of the most fucked up games I've ever played, as it should be, because it was inspired by the works of H.P. Lovecraft. You're basically playing through a Shadow over Innsmouth, which is weird that it's called Call of Cthulhu, who's not really in the game. But that's beside the point. You run into a number of monsters, and it's like your vision gets more and more fucked up as you stare at them, so you can't stare at them for very long, so you have to be quick and make your shots well. And the game is freaking scary as shit because of it, and it's got good controls.
That reminds me, can't remember the name of the movie. There's a horror movie that was very H.P. Lovecraft-like type feel. What is this guy? He's a writer, but he's also a Vietnam vet. His the house he had lived in when he first got together with his wife was like owned by his grandmother or aunt or whatever. They're living with her, and their son disappeared, and like just out of nowhere. And the old crazy aunt or whatever is just like the house took him, blah blah blah. And so it's years later he divorced with his wife because of the stress they went through with losing their kid, thinking he got kidnapped. He comes back to the house because the aunt, grandmother, whatever, is dead. And, everyone around town says she was crazy, but, like, the neighbor next door is like, she was weird, but he's like, I don't think she was crazy, blah, blah. He, moves into the house and things start to happen, shit like that.
Are you talking about Paranormal Activity?
No. This was older. This was, like, 80s. And...
Poltergeist?
No.
I don't know.
He moves back into... Anyway, he eventually, starts seeing stuff, and, like, eventually, like, he's not sure if it's the house really is haunted or he's losing his mind. Finally, the one time, he opened, he thought he heard something from the one closet, he opens it, there's nothing in there. He goes and closes it, he just stands there waiting. Finally, hears a noise in there, opens it back up, and there's this, like, dreadful fucking beast out of, like, the Necronomicon. It, like, tries to attack him. But, like, it gets just insane. Like, he eventually, like, breaks a mirror, and there's, like, nothingness behind it. He jumps through it, like, and lands in, like, an ocean. Like, it's, it's very H.P. Lovecraft. And
yeah.
But anyway,
at first I thought you might be talking about In the Mouth of Madness. Have you seen that movie?
I've never heard of the name, but I don't remember the name of this movie. Brian Wells made me watch it, but anyway, your description made me think of that movie.
Yeah, In the Mouth of Madness was, there was a writer named Sutter Kane, and he was, like, excessively popular, like Stephen King, but more so, and everything he wrote came true. And he was a horror writer, so he was writing all these horrors about this little fucked up town, and the movie spends a lot of time just messing with your mind, and it's very much based on the works of Lovecraft, and it's directed by John Carpenter, and I think it's pretty good, and I think the ending is a little weak, but I think overall it's a good movie.
Alright, well, I should get...
Yeah, we should sign off. This has been another edition of Press the Action Button podcast. This episode was a disaster, but I'm going to edit it anyway. We will talk to you guys next week here on digital-delirium.com. With me this week was whatever you want your name to be. I can't even remember anymore.
You're the princess who raises the sun. Hire a fucking rock band.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Whatever, just end it. Just end it.
We will talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Peace.